There we go. So, welcome to the Sculpt and Contour workshop. We want who you are. So, let's light up that chat. Put where you're from because I love to see that women are joining from all over the United States, and it's just so fun to see where everybody is coming from. So, go ahead and put that in the chat. Remember, all of you connecting in the chat too is going to be able to get you entries for the contour kit giveaway. I'm going to keep showing you this. I'm going to be working out of it a lot of the time, but it is going to be, first of all, in our perfect palette. How fun is this? Our beautiful perfect palette. And then we're giving one of these away tonight. It has a mirror, and then we have one for lighter skin, we have one for darker skin, and it's going to have a contour, a blush, a highlight, completely customized for you. So this is our big giveaway tonight, but you got to enter this. Let me show you what to do. So commenting is going to help you get that. And then also texting this number is not going to only get you entered in for that, but it's also going to get you some special freebies we have tonight that are going to be helpful tips, like a picture of how to contour for your face shape. All right, you're going to want that value. So you're going to have a picture of some of our deals tonight. So you're just going to get a couple texts. So go ahead and text the word summer, just the word summer. I was looking through at our last giveaway, and people do put these parentheses or they put an emoji or they put their name with it. It doesn't work unless the text only says summer to 619-202-8225. Give it about 60 seconds. It's then going to shoot you over a link. You're going to fill that out. That's really helpful if you go ahead and fill that out, because then you're going to say, Melissa, Bree, why isn't my name in that wheel? It's not working. You got to fill out the form for us that will come to you real fast, just your name and everything. So we can then copy and paste your name into this big prize wheel that we're going to give away lots of full-size products tonight and get you all your values. So again, the word summer to 619-202-8225. I'll share that a couple more times throughout the event, just so that way you have it in case we have new people joining on. Let me go ahead and read this chat. Yes, go ahead, Ashley. Consultants as well. Go ahead and text that word summer to that number as well. Great question. All right. I'm seeing a lot of Texas. I'm seeing Oregon. I'm seeing Arizona. I'm seeing California. I'm seeing Colorado, Mississippi, Oregon. Whoa, we are all over the place. Let's see. I know Michigan is on here. How fun is that? So if you're just joining, go ahead and put where you're from. Thanks, guys, for texting that. So fun. And we are going to be learning all about contour today. I'd love to know if you have contoured before with your face, what has been your biggest struggle or something that you're just kind of like wish you could do better with your contouring? Is it your face shape? Is it what products to use, colors, placement, tools? Tell me what is kind of on your mind of like, I think I'm doing it, but this could be a little bit better. Or are some of you like, I never have. What's the purpose? Okay, like, why am I taking the extra step here? So that might be a reason. All right, so with that, we're going to go over how to contour. I have no contour on right now. This is only foundation on my face and powder, okay? Which, by the way, if you've not asked your consultant to get matched with our new foundation, holy smokes. I've had this now, I think, for 4 months. The company sent it to me. I'm still running. I have a little bit left. You got to get matched. Okay. That's a little side piece, but I have that on my face. I have some powder. I did do my eyebrows. I did do my eyeshadow with our eyeshadow sticks, and I have some lip gloss on, but I have absolutely no contour, blush, or highlight. And so we're going to watch this face transform. And on this side, we're going to do what would be the right ways to do it. And on this side, which is scary because I have to keep talking to you after that, we're going to do all the wrong ways. So we're going to deal with two sides of the face. Okay. And I have some tips of 5 things to pay attention to and some pictures for you guys of how to do your face shape. We also will have a fun after party of some extra things that you can get for free. So that's going to be really fun too. All right. I'm looking at what I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything here. I'm going to show you some pieces here first before we dive into the demo and giving you guys a little bit more time to fill out that first form here. I'm going to show you some fun stuff about contouring and the 5 tips. So I want you to know the 5 tips, and then you'll hear me be talking about them. And you can go ahead and screenshot this if you need to. But these are the 5 things you want to pay attention to when you're contouring. Number 1, we want to keep things higher on your face than you think. And I will show you the difference of why, but high for lift. We want to look lifted, right? Okay, number 2, not bringing too close to the mouth. I will show you a tip of how to do this, but not too close of bringing that contour into this mouth area. Okay, we don't want it anywhere over there. How to blend up versus down. All right, we're gonna show some tips on that. So we're keeping the contour in the right place. We're not looking muddy. We're gonna look at the placement for your face shape. Maybe your diamond, heart, oval, circle, square. Where is it gonna be best for you? And then how do we put it on gradually? And we can build up the depth of that color slowly instead of going all in and then being, oh my gosh, I look like my entire face color change. Okay, so those are our top 5 rules. I'll zoom out here for a second, because if you want to take a screenshot of this real quick or a picture, just to keep handy of 5 things to think about, you can do that really fast. That one isn't going in the pictures. I can also put it in the chat at some point too. So there's our 5 tips. Now, I want to show you the purpose before we dive in. What's the purpose of each thing when we contour? So let me go ahead and open this up. I'm going to move everything around to find the picture. And oops, I don't want to raise my hand. Sorry, guys. Okay, so here we go. Let me move. Oops, I'm sharing my whole screen. I'm pressing everything crazy today. Here we go. Okay. So 3 things to think about when we're contouring. What do they do? Let's zoom in on this. Contour itself, all right, that's going to be more of a brown tone of powder or cream. It is going to add shadow. So you got to think with contour, what are the areas I want to make look smaller? What are the areas I want to make look more slim or more defined? That's where my contour needs to go. Now, what do I want to emphasize? That would be highlighting. Okay, that's going to bring some dimension and some sheen and some light to the face. And then where do I want my eye to go? We want it to go to that pop of color. Okay, that's going to be our blush color. So those are some tips there of what are those 3 things doing? What are they adding value to our face versus just having to add a lot of extra things to our skin? You can take a screenshot of that too, if that helps you kind of remember what are they for, but those are going to be there. All right, so I'm going to show you the right way on this side. I'm going to get rid of this cat because she's going to just be a part of everything. And we're going to start here. Let me spotlight myself so I can see myself really good here. Let me put myself spotlight. Okay, so I'm going to be working out of our fun little perfect palette. I love these because they are magnetic. So let me show you that real quick. These can come out. They're little magnets. They just pop right in. You can put eyeshadows in these. You can put blushes and contours and all those things. When they run out, you can pop it out. You just put a new one in. So this one is specifically built to have all 3 of those things that we talked about all in one spot. We even have, I didn't get it, but a little travel brush that you could keep in here. So it's just your full little kit. Now, something else that is going to be your best friend and make your life so much easier is our blush brush. So the tool really matters because the way that this is shaped, and you'll see it a lot better once I put the product on there, actually is formed for your face shape to make it easier when you're applying. And there is meant to be contour here, blush here, and highlight here. So we'll show you how that works, okay? So our first thing is to keep contour high. So I'm going to start here in the cheek area. So typically where we're going to put contour is somewhere in the cheek area, somewhere on the forehead area. Typically the jawline is to take care of a double chin. Okay, so if we would like to get rid of that, that is where you're going to go in there. You can make your nose look smaller. I can work with that a little bit there. You can make your lips look poutier. But right now, the 3 main areas we're going to focus on is that hairline, the cheek area, and that jaw area. And it's going to change our face shape. So as I stick this in, I'm using our color Latte here. And you'll notice with the blush brush, I'm putting it right perpendicular into that contour. And that is where I want my contour on this brush, down in this bevel section right here. Now, see how the product, I built it up a little bit in there? I'm going to actually tap it. I don't know if you can even see some of that powder coming off. So that way it's not as intense, because remember, one of the rules, go lighter and build up as you go. So let's talk about placement here. I want you guys to feel right here where this part of your ear comes down. And I want you to feel that's your cheekbone. You can feel it, right? All in there. Okay, then you can feel, if you go right below that, you can almost feel where it stops and your finger can go in. All right, so right on that bone, right in there, everybody's is in a different spot, right? Because all of our face shapes are different. That area is where we want the contour. Now, we now have to focus on, where do we want it pointing? We don't want it pointing down. That's going to bring the face down. We talked about lift, right? We don't want it just going straight across. We want it to follow our cheekbone, which is slightly diagonal. All right. Now, where do we want it to stop? Because it also said, don't go in too close to the mouth. Don't go too close into the nose. You're going to use the arch of your eyebrow as to how far you're going to take your contour in. So I typically start there and push back. So that way, if I started here and brought my contour forward, the excess product will sometimes come out and then get too close into here. Versus if I start here, I have more control and the excess goes into my hairline and no one's going to see it. Okay, so we're going to start here. I'm going to do a pretty stripy line right now, just so you can see where that's going. So notice, because as I blending is going to push the product. So I went as high as possible, right on that cheekbone, right underneath it. We don't want to go lower. I'll show you why later. So we're going to keep it up here. So I got the product on there. Once the product is on there, now I'm going to just push this stippling into my hairline. So that way I'm not making the line much thicker. Okay, so that's why you really want a brush, because if we use too big of a powder brush, that's going to muddy it up. We just want a little bit of shadow, because look what that's already doing. It's already pushing up that cheek. It's giving dimension to that cheek. All right, so that's what we want it to do. So we're just going to go right in there. That's it. Just that little line. So easy. Once you know where to do your eyebrow and here, you just put it on. Okay, now if you ever go, oh my gosh, my line was really harsh and it looks too harsh and it looks like a stripe, then you will take a clean powder brush and you could go in little circles. Now watch, remember what tip number 5 was, or tip number 3 was? It says don't blend down. So as I'm blending this, if I need to blend, I'm blending it up into my cheek versus down into this bottom area. I want this to stay clean in here, like my foundation color. Okay, so that is blended. All right, now the next thing that we're going to contour, and after we do contour, I'm saying this for the sake, because I will keep talking to you to do this because I'm in makeup mode. After I finish contour on this side, Melissa, we're going to give a prize away and she will cut me off, people, and she will get you your gift. Okay, so again, we're going to go into here. Now, this is again going to be different for everybody's hairline and face shape. So notice on mine, so pay attention to this with your face. I don't have a lot of skin area available to me, canvas area between this part of my eyebrow and my hairline. That is very little. So what was one of the things that contour does? It slims an area. It makes it look even smaller. So would I want to make this area look even smaller? Not for me. No. Okay. But I do have a lot of canvas area of a forehead. Remember in like America's Next Top Model, they have like a 5-finger forehead. I have a 4. So I have a lot of area there to play with. Now my hairline is pretty like even in the sense of some people are going to have a widow's peak, some people's are going to come back. So you're going to play with that of where you'd want to put your color. So for me, I'm going to focus mine right along the edge up in here and think naturally where the sun would be hitting you. this is going to slim. So what does slimming do if we have a larger forehead? This is helping my forehead maybe not look as large. Okay, so I'm just omitting here. And what I'm doing as I'm doing this is I am layering it slowly. And as I go like this, I'm pushing it into my hairline, because the worst thing you could do is do it here and then have your light hairline right here. We want this to look even into that hairline. So I'm stopping about here where my hair comes out. See, if your hair starts to go back like this, you want to stop where that hair starts to come out, because we don't want to now make this part look smaller. This is going to make that look more symmetrical. So what did it say we could do in step number 5? We could build. So if I'm like, yeah, that looks good, but if I was going out that night and I wanted it to look maybe a little bit more intense, then I might take another layer and I might pack it on to look a little bit darker. So see how this lightness, making that area look forward, more space, versus this is bringing it down and making that forehead look a little bit smaller. Again, blending. If we're blending up, we're going to blend into that hairline like this to make those lines soft. We wouldn't go like this down, because then we're going to get into this area that we want to keep light. All right, last area that I'm going to contour on right now is the jawline. Now with the jawline, you can even start from back here if you want to chisel out this jaw area. Watch this. We can do a little bit right here. You see how just getting it right on the bone, right on the edge. I'm not wanting to get on this flat space anywhere right here. I don't want that to be touched. I'm going on the side, and I'm going on the jaw right in here. Again, I don't want to go into this space. So if I'm blending this, I'm flicking down into this area right in here. Because what we're doing is we're slimming this to make it look of a more intense jawline, less double chin. See here, we've lost that. We don't even see the jaw in here. Look at that, because of putting contour, we see the jaw over here. Okay, so that gives us a jaw back. Okay, so, and then again, we don't want to go too far down, because we spent so much time getting the perfect foundation color. You don't want to go really far down and then have this color be wrong, right? So we're just giving that little bit of shading, and we could take our little brush right here and blend if we need to. Okay, so that's going to be correct contouring do's. We'll do blush here in a second, but let's go ahead and give away a prize, Melissa. Our first product prize, if it's a consultant, it can be a fun prize for a consultant, whether that's a business tool or something like that. As we're doing that, put in the chat so far something you're excited to try about contour, or maybe something you haven't been doing, or you have and you're excited you are doing it right. So go ahead.
Okay, before I spin the reel, real quick, if you have not yet and you're just joining us, in order to get entered into the drawings, you need to text the word summer to 619-202-8225. And I have popped it in the chat on here so you can find it.
Perfect. Yes. So scroll up in that chat, text that, but we're going to give this away. Look at all your names in there. Great job. Make sure you filled out the form. Go ahead and give that first prize away. Ashanti, congratulations. Let us know if you're a consultant or guest. And then that way we know if we want some product prize. I love this. Showed how to have a jawline. Isn't that exciting? So I only used to go right here, and I just saw a video about going right under this ear part in here. It's a game changer. We needed to go further. Okay. All right. So now we are going to do blush on this side. And so think of this kind of like a Neapolitan ice cream, where you're layering in these orders. And so we're going to show you now how to do the blush. So remember when we were doing contour, the brush was going right perpendicular. Now we're going to do it at about a 45-degree angle when we're going in for the blush. And notice where you see it. It's on that fatty part, squishy part of the brush. Okay, and that's going to go perfectly to our cheek. Now again, with Blush, we don't want to go too far in. Now, I know there's some trends going on to go all the way across your nose. So I'm specifically talking to the women who would like to make their face look more lifted right now. If we're dealing with gravity that's pulling us down, there used to be the trick. Raise your hand or say, yes, me in the comments that you used to, and I used to teach it this way. Smile and put it on the apple of your cheek. Okay. And you would go right in there. And I will do it on this side when it is time to show you the wrong side. Okay. But look what happens. As soon as I stopped smiling, as I've gotten older, that part that was up here is now down here. So it actually droops down, right? Okay. So instead, we're going to use that arch of the eyebrow. We're going to go into this part of the cheek where you do feel that apple part, the height of that bone right in here, right above the contour. And we're going to start here and we're going to press it up into the hairline. Okay. So this is going to lift. And what do we want to bring attention to? The height of this cheekbone. This is going to bring attention to your eye. If you're like, I have rosy cheeks though, we're going to also layer, right, with our coloring to see. So we started out light and then we're layering to see how much color that we want. So we could start lighter. All right. So that is going to lift that cheek up. And because we were patting like this, we were blending up and we weren't going like this to have that product blend down. Now, cheeks are easy because that's done. That's easy. Everyone needs cheek color, okay? I don't care if you're super rosy. Put a little foundation on, but let's make it look purposeful. Let's not make it look, oh, because my skin is uneven tone or I'm looking flushed. We can make it look purposeful. Okay, so there's our blush, super easy. And then we're going to use the outside edge of our brush into our highlight. So notice I flipped my brush around. I'm going backwards into this and I'm getting it on this outside edge, this little part right here. Again, I'm going to always take my finger, get a little bit of this excess off, and I'm going to go right on top of where I just did my blush, just this top part, just a little line right in here. Again, I'm kind of using this arch of the eyebrow where everything's starting. And I'm just going to do a little bit and it's just going to bring a little bit of shimmer, and that little bit of light is going to just help do that whole little bit of extra of just pulling that cheek up even more. I will tell the shades in just a second. The other place I could do some highlight is right on top of my Cupid's bow, because what is this going to do? This is going to lift my lips up. It's going to make them look bigger. I could also take a little bit and go down the center of the nose if I wanted to. And you could also do a little bit here in the forehead if you want to. Okay. So then it's just kind of pulling out pops of light with that, just to kind of give that pretty glow for summer or to lift things a little bit more. Specifically in here, if you were looking at these shades, which we have all kinds of shades that you can customize this. This is the Latte Contour. This is going to be for light to mid-medium skin tones. This one is Rogue Rose. This is a cooler pink tone. And then highlight, this one is glazed, I believe. Oh, that's Honey Glow. So apparently you're getting the full honey and I switched these and I should have been using this one. This is Honey Glow. This is glazed. So notice this is a little bit lighter, where Honey Glow is a little bit more golden. So on a deeper, warmer skin tone, we would want to go with that Honey Glow, but it works out. It's fine. You can't really mess around with highlighter or mess up with highlighter too much, but I'll take that glazed and go a little bit on top and see how it even brings a little bit more brightness, a little bit lighter on the skin in there. All righty. We are going to do one wrong contour starting with the cheek. We'll take a pause and then we'll give away some more prizes. How do you tell if someone needs cool or warm tones? Great question. I'm like, how do I do this without the whole training? Okay, this would be the easiest way. If you are someone who goes out into the sun and you burn and stay burnt, you are typically someone who has a cool undertone. Okay. If you are someone who burns immediately, but over the next couple of days, it can build. And if you keep going out in the sun, it can keep getting tanner. You're neutral. You can kind of go into cool and you can kind of go into warm. You could probably wear silver jewelry. You can probably wear gold too. But when you don't have your tan, you probably look better in cooler undertones. If you are someone whose skin does nothing in the sun, it just stays the same because your skin just loves the sun, or it deepens, or you tan right away, you are typically more of a warm undertone. You're going to look better in warmer colors. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's show you some wrong things here. So let's start with contouring here. Let's go lower. All right, let's show you what would it look like if we didn't go high enough, if we didn't use that little cheekbone test with the ear. So what if we went down here instead? Okay. And what if we didn't blend and we watch this? I'm coming out this way and we're going to go close to the mouth. I feel so uncomfortable doing this because I have to actually force myself. Okay, so we're going to go lower and we're going to do what it said not to do, which is go too close to the mouth. Look at how much already that has brought my face down. Do you see that difference? Muddy. It's not lifting, it's actually pulling the face down. Okay, I'll just finish the rest of this. What if we also didn't put this right on the edge? What if we went up too high and we just got crazy? Because you're like, I'm just rushing. I'll just go like this and I'm just kind of getting it on my jawline in here. Okay, watch. We've lost all of the depth. We are now changing an entire different color. And it actually amplified more shadow under here than it did of giving me a jawline and depth. Okay, then what if we went over here where I said, let's not do this. Let's not take away from this part of the hairline and let's leave this light. Okay. So now it looks like I got punched. This is pushing my forehead in right here, and it's accentuating the forehead to go up more. So look at this entire shape has changed. Looks really muddy, looks really crazy versus lifting and chiseling out the face where we want it to go. Okay. So let's even say, but Bree, you're making it look crazy. Blend it. Okay, let's blend it. Let's make it look a little better. Let's blend it. It still is bringing everything down dramatically. Okay, so we'll pause there. We're going to give away another prize. And then I will show you what doing blush in the wrong place is going to do. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Ashley, woohoo! Okay, I owe you two things now because I was going to give you a complexion sponge and then Jessica said you already had one. So we're figuring out two items that you want, whether it's product or some business tools. Okay. Will these techniques for any age? All of these techniques especially are going towards your specific bone structure and lifting. So even if these are specifically as we get older, what is going to help as we get older? So then anyone could do it younger. It's totally fine. But this is always leaning towards what would it look like as we're getting older for this. Okay. So blush. Okay. So we're going to put the blush on here. We're going to do the apple of the cheek thing and smile. So remember, over here, where did we focus it? Arch of eyebrow, pulling it up onto the high of the cheekbone. Here, we're going to do the smile technique, and we're going to do it in the apple area right in here. Smiling, putting it here. Is this what you guys have done when you've done the smile technique? We put it all right here. Okay. So see how that part, I smiled, but as soon as I did that, it dropped down. This whole part is making my face come down versus this feeling like Hey, I gave my face a facelift. Hey, I'm pulling my eye and everything up this way. This is all kind of dragging down in here. Okay. And then we could do highlight, which I don't really know where you can go super wrong with highlight, but maybe just like too much and we look like a disco ball. So it just gets like really heavy and stripy and not blended. So you see that it can be in there. And now it's just kind of like a mess that we've changed the entire color of our face versus looking intentional, right? Looking like it is our face still, but we're just enhancing those features. We're giving some color, we're giving some definition. All righty, so let's learn your face shape of some tricks of some things you'll be getting. And then I'd love to hear if there's anything that you're like, man, I've been doing that the wrong way. And that's why I just stopped doing it because it doesn't look right. All right, let me pull up these pictures here for the face shape. This doesn't want to move. This cat also doesn't want to leave me alone. All righty, so there's multiple. And again, this is going to be more towards your hairline, but let's do kind of learn. So diamond, your face is longer than it is wide. Okay, so if you're like, what does diamond mean? Your face is longer than it is wide. Your chin is slightly pointed and your hairline is more narrow than your cheeks. So it comes in more than your cheeks. Okay, that means you are more diamond. So if that is the case, you actually want to focus your contour more so only on your cheeks, slimming in those cheeks because you're more pointed at the forehead and more pointed down there. So we actually are going to really, for you, only focus in the cheek area of contour, maybe not so much the forehead and the chin. All right, my heart-shaped girls. And as you see yours, be like, I'm a heart, I'm a diamond in the chat, okay? Our heart face is, your hairline is narrower than your cheeks. Okay, similar to diamond. It's a little bit more narrow. Your chin is narrow and pointed, and you may also have a widow's peak. Okay, so you might have your hairline might come in that V area here. And that is definitely something you're going to pay attention to. So if it comes in a V, which this picture didn't really show it in a V, you're going to focus your contour. Let me stop sharing for a second. When I have women who's had their hair come down into a V, I do not put any contour underneath that V. I'm focusing it in that area where the hair growth is not and connecting it to the highest point of the hairline and the highest point of the hairline. And I'm putting it in there. And that's making it look more symmetrical and not giving as much attention to that heart shape. Okay. And again, you might like some things and not want to change that. So that's okay. This is all about just kind of changing that around to be more symmetrical. Oval. There are no major pointy areas. Okay, so you don't maybe have a really heavy jawline or cheekbones. And it says your face is 1.5 times longer than it is wide. So if you are like, it's really narrow compared to how long it is, you probably have an oval shape. It said you may have somewhat an oblong face. So you're going to really want to, in this picture, what this is showing is if we're slimming things down, you're going to focus more of your contour in your chin area down here and up here. So we're shortening and slimming this way versus pulling it in more. Does that make sense on the oval? So we're wanting to kind of cut it off on the bottom, cut it off on the top. I don't know how to tell my face shape. I think rectangle. Okay, well, rectangle is coming up next. Or square, or oh, you said rectangle. I hear what you're saying. So you kind of like are a mixture. So this is where you just got to look at your bone structure and hairline. So the square is going to be your hairline and jawline width are about even, right? So that means your hairline up here and your jawline are all the same. Nothing's going in. Your face is equally long as it is wide. And here we go. You also may have somewhat of a rectangular face shape with your face being longer than wide, but have an even hairline and jawline. So, so that is kind of, you're going to be the person in this one, right? So what do you want to focus on? This one, you want to focus on softening the features because as you're square, you probably do have a pretty intense jawline. So you're kind of going across the whole bottom, you're going in those cheeks, and you're kind of smoothing it out here in these corners just to kind of round and warm everything up. Now, again, you'll be getting this picture. And the beauty of having a beauty consultant is you can jump on with her and we can send you samples and we can have fun and we can look at your face and we can go, wait, I think you need to put it there. I think you need to put it there. And you can have that one-on-one time with her, okay? Alrighty, so with that, let's go over some deals so that way you can get some of these things in your hands so that way you can practice because that is honestly, practicing is the best way that you're going to learn and getting to just play and put it on and see how it goes. Okay, so let's do our everyday sculpt. So if you're just like, I'm just gonna, and I also want to maybe have a creamy, change up, you might like the everyday sculpt set. So that would be getting our little petite palette. It would fit one contour in here. There is room for one eyeshadow. So you could put a lighter color eyeshadow to be your highlight if you want. That's actually a really fun idea. That would be a little extra. And then we have our new cheek sticks. They come in 2 different colors. I'll show you them, but they're super easy to put on and they're great for more mature skin to have that creamy consistency. We have a warm toned one and a cool toned one. And this would also come with that cheek brush. Everybody needs the cheek brush or it's very hard to do all this. That made my life so much easier. So normally that's $64. Tonight you would get 3 pieces for $41, saving you $13. So let's look at those colors really quick. We have this one in Spark Change. I know they look really bright there. I'll blend them out with my brush so you can see, okay? And then this one is Kind Spirit. So this is going to be more of our warm tone. This is going to be more of our cool tone, but they really blend out nice and beautiful and melt into the skin. See how pretty that is? Okay, so that way you can have a really, they just melt right in. Now with these, you would want to put them on before powder. Okay, so that could be your first option. And then we have our second option. Let me go ahead and open it up. And this is very similar to what I just showed you. It's actually exactly what I just showed you. This is going to be the Sculpt and Glow collection. This is going to give you the petite or the perfect palette you just saw me working out of. You're going to get to choose your color blush. We can show you which ones might be best for you. Your highlight, your contour. You're going to get a blush brush with that. So normally it's $88. Tonight you would save $18 and get your entire contour collection for $70. These are going to last you guys for so long. Like, I don't know. I think that my blush and contour lasts me minimum 6 months. And then you can kind of replace as you need to. So probably longer than that. All righty. So there are some of our sets. I think we're going to be giving away, we gave away 2. So let's go ahead and give away 1 more prize. And then we are going to share about something a little different. Now I'm not sure what colors I would need. Marcy, I have a chart for what blush would be best. We only have 6 blushes, so it's not that hard for that. The other ones are based on how light or dark your skin is.
Okay, so we are going to be, this is the last drawing we're doing that's from the first form. Okay, so you're going to have received a second link. So the next drawing we do, which is the big one, is going to be from that and some questions. So you want to make sure that you fill out that second link.
Jessica Merkerson. All right, let us know in the chat if you want a piece of product or if you want a consultant tool. And then Melissa, maybe we can put that second link in the chat too, just in case. Perfect, because you guys might be getting it at different times if you started it at different times. All righty, so we're going to do a poll here in just a second. So there's going to be something that flashes up on your screen that you get to answer some questions. And remember, these next things that I'm going to ask you and things that are going to go in the chat are going to get you entered in for your own contour kit. All right. So with that, I want to tell you ladies a little bit about our Mary Kay opportunity. I always take a couple minutes. I'm not going to take super long because we will have an after party that you can join us, that if you do want to learn a little bit more, you do want us to go over some more answers, we have something even extra special for that. Look at this fun little mascara case, but inside of it are going to be a complexion sponge, which is our brand new yummy complexion sponge, and one of those cheek sticks. Okay. So that is going to be something that you get if you want to stay with us just for like 10, 15 minutes at the after party. So you would get one of those. But anyways, I want to tell you ladies who I'm looking for. And maybe someone is on here right now. I'm looking for 4 women. I'm looking for 4 women. I want you to close your eyes and think, could this be me? Who are saying, you know, I would love to earn an executive size income, which by the way, what does that mean? That means at least you alone are earning 6 figures. I want to help you do that. I want to find women who want that. I want to find women who said, I'd like to earn a free car. I don't want a car payment. I want to find women who say, hey, here's what I really need. I need a flexible schedule. I need to be able to prioritize my faith. I want to be able to prioritize date nights with my husband, do special activities with my kids, have self-care time, go after my hobbies. But even more importantly, I'm looking for women who say, hey, I might love what I do, but I'm not able to even make enough of a big enough impact where I'm at, or I need a place to win or to be celebrated or have a goal to go after. So here's why I'm looking for that. I've been able to do this business for 14 years. I started when I was 22 years old. And it has been, I am so unbelievably grateful. You guys, I get to work 100% from home. And what I'm really good at, well, I'm just really good at the business now. And I just say that with confidence because after you've been doing this for 14 years and you get to do this solely and get to have freedom and flexibility and like all these little things represent like all of sales our team has had, I have figured out over 14 years how to duplicate that and gift that to other women. And so if you had something where you're like, man, I figured out how to have flexibility and make a 6-figure income, wouldn't it feel really weird to keep it to yourself and not tell other women? So that's what I have to tell you. And I get to tell you, hey, if you're coachable and you're willing to learn, you're willing to take action and just go after a dream, I can teach you how to do this because we have mentorship and training and all the systems to make it happen. So I'm going to just share up on my screen, and this is what our poll is going to come up for, okay? We have 5 reasons, 5 big categories that women typically like to be a part of our Mary Kay business. And I'm not going to go through all these right now, but you get to choose your top 2. Melissa, did it let us do top 2 in the poll or top 1 just to confirm really quick?
It's multiple choice, so you just pick 2.
Okay, so I want you to see as this poll comes up, we're going to do it here in just a second, and ask yourself, based on my personality or my life circumstances right now, what intrigues me the most? The financial freedom, being able to make some extra income? Is it the freedom and flexibility? You're like, I need to make my own schedule. Is it the personal growth? You're like, I need somewhere to build my confidence, my self-esteem. Is it the community and connection? You need some mentorship, some friends, some just people who believe in you. Or is it recognition and prizes and just a place to be celebrated? All right, let's go ahead and put up that poll. I'll leave up this picture. And I want you to choose your top 2. Because like I said, we're not going to go over a lot of this tonight. We'll get to go over a little bit more in our after party. But based on how you answer the poll that's going to come up on your screen, did you do it, Melissa? Did you put it up? There we go. I see it. Okay, you're going to choose your top 2 that just popped up on your screen. And whatever your top 2 are, I'm going to get to share with you just a tiny bit more about. And as you're done with this poll, I want you to put in the chat. Again, I can only answer 2 or 3, but all of your questions will get you more entries for that contour kit. And I can answer some more of them that I don't get to in the after party. But what questions, what would be some things you would personally be curious about or want to know? if you ever did something like this. So make sure you're putting that in the chat so she can copy and paste your name. Again, doesn't matter if you want to sign up or you don't want to sign up. The question gets you for the prizes. We have 20 of 33 who've answered the poll. We're getting closer, 21. Awesome. It looks like right now, financial freedom is ranking high, and it looks like freedom and flexibility is ranking pretty high. But in the third, we have some confidence and personal growth. So I'll give you guys just a couple more seconds to make sure and answer that if you haven't had a chance. But if not, it looks like our two winners are going to be the financial part and the flexibility part. Okay. And then I see some of that chat lighting up, which is perfect. So your name is getting into having some more prizes, getting that contour kit here. Super fun. And then as I'm giving you a second to end this poll, just don't forget on the product end, if this is something that you loved, the products you saw tonight, you want to make sure to connect with your consultant so you get them at those deals. All right. So I'll share the results with you so you can see, but it looks like 67% of you said financial freedom and 57% said freedom and flexibility. So I love it, love it, love it. So let me share a little bit more on those ones with you guys. So I want to just today, I don't know why I decided to focus on the financial one. I just thought maybe you would all ask. And I decided to count up what my sales were the last week of June. And I had sent out one text, just one text to my customers saying I had a big goal. And in that day, I sold about $2,300 in product of reorders to people. And we went half. Okay. So fun. So in a couple texts and a couple of, just gathering what people wanted because it's something they already used, it's consumable, I was able to put about $1,200 into my pocket. And so something that I have been so grateful for with this business over the last 14 years is that I get to choose when I work it, when I don't, how much I want to make. Last week, I went on a session like this. Imagine you're on Zoom. You sent samples in the mail to somebody. I was on with two people, you guys, for 45 minutes. Normally it's longer, but I don't know why. This was 45 minutes. They bought $300 in product. In 45 minutes, I was able to put $150 in my pocket, and that paid for two of my horseback riding lessons that week. All right. So what did I say? What are the women I want to find? The ones who want to go after their hobbies, the ones who want to go after the dreams, the $1,200 to buy the crazy bouncy house slide pool thing my son wants for his graduation party extravaganza that I can be like, you know what? Let's do that. Right. I also love the idea that with the financial freedom with Mary Kay, you can build a team. And what that has helped me to do is be in more places at once and have more income opportunities. I want you to think about your job. Typically, you're only making money when you clock in and you clock out. So you're not making money if you're on vacation unless you have PTO, but that's typically, there's only so much you can have, right? So what I loved about team building is when I take Wednesdays off to be with my son, when I go on the 2-week camping trips twice a year with my dad, when I'm an introvert, you guys, I just need to be off Sunday. I have a whole team of women who I'm getting to help their household, their dreams, but Mary Kay is paying a commission on what that looks like, which has created a 6-figure income multiple years in a row without always needing me to physically or mentally be there. All right. So that's building this residual income of multiple ways of income. And then, of course, there's the car program that we can make money that way. So imagine for me, I've earned 8 free cars. I haven't had a car payment in 13 years. I want you to imagine the average car payment. Let me just check. People always tell me like around $500. In a year, that's about $6,000 being saved. In 13 years, $78,000 of car payments I have not had to worry about because of our car program. That's wild. Or insurance. And I've been in 5 car accidents. So, insurance. Okay. The second area, I said I would be quick. Freedom and flexibility. You got to hear a lot of flexibility in the things that I say that I do, but I have a basic need of having freedom and flexibility. I don't like to be told where to go. I don't like to be told when I have to work. I don't like to have to drive all the things to where I need to do. But here's what freedom and flexibility has done through my life through the last 14 years. I have done this alongside doing an entire full-time business. I used to be a hairdresser. So I learned how to build this in a couple of hours while still doing what was my dream and my passion and my full-time job, working over 40 hours a week. That transition and being able to replace that income, and then life changes, right? Chaos. Anyone have chaos happen in their life? I needed something that could weave in around dropping data off at rehab centers, going through grief, being pregnant, right? Having a 9-pound baby and not working a day that month, but still having a $5,000 commission check. I stayed home an entire year and nursed him and didn't ever have to leave him. I was able to leave a really toxic marriage and go in and out of all the mental capacity that took and go into being a single homeschool mom who still runs a full-time business and has the time to go to the ranch every day and ride her horse or go goof off with animals. And so that is the kind of thing that I want to give women is the choice, just the choice to design your day for you to be in control, you to put the blueprint of what you want to do. Okay. So with that, I saw some questions in here. I don't know, Melissa, did you see the questions that you can choose for me if I'm going back up of the best questions that I can choose two right now, and then I can answer more in the back? Do we get to be flexible with our schedules wherever we are at? Yes. Yes, Carolee. No one tells you when to work or when not to. So you get to say, hey, I don't have any time this month. I don't have to, but I still get to take advantage of my discount. Or you get to say, hey, I want to make $1,000 this month. I want to do X amount of appointments. It's when you choose to at your time slots that work with your life. So we actually sit down and help you of how to do that. Okay. I am going to answer one more. Do you host skincare parties live or Zoom? You can do either. You could do live on like Facebook or social media. You could do Zoom like this where you're with people. You could do it in person, whatever fits your personality, whatever makes you excited. Okay. And then I'll answer one more. How do you make sales if you're already working a 40-hour week and around the same people every single day? That's a huge question, actually. And Zoom user, make sure you put your name so we get you a entry with your actual name. Most women who do this do work 40 hours a week. And so I tell you, hey, if you were to just do this, y'all have probably one evening night that you can carve out an hour and a half, or one weekend morning that you can carve out 1 hour and a half, jump on a Zoom, gather a bunch of ladies to the same one, and be able to do it. So we sit down though, and we help you kind of go, hey, life looks crazy. Your kids are in sports. You have this going on. You're volunteering for this. Where's just a little baby time? You can just be intentional with that hour and a half on Zoom. Now, the same people, that's okay. Because guess what? On that Zoom I was telling you about, where they bought $300 in product in 45 minutes, each of them gave 20 names of new people I did not know. So I left that appointment with 40 new people that I could text to create new clients. So I'm never leaving an appointment without meeting new people and having more business. And again, we teach you how to do that. Okay. So, okay. It's okay. My guest, fun. Very, very good questions, you guys. We're getting all your names into that wheel. We're going to give away the contour kit. And like we mentioned, if there's some more extra questions, you're like, but Brie, you have specific ones even from me. I just need to ask a little bit more, or just let me in that after party for just 10 minutes so I can have a chance to win this fun little bag, complexion sponge, cheek stick. Then you can join our after party when we're done. But we're going to give away the big contour kit. And you're not going to do it like this side. We're going to do it like this side. So our winner of the contour kit is, go ahead and spin that wheel. Marcy Higgins, you are getting a contour kit. Woo-hoo. All right. Connect with your consultant, or if you are a consultant, tell your director so we can pick out your colors. We can get you your kit in the mail. So fun. You are going to be ready for summertime. And thank you, ladies who aren't staying with us for the after party. Again, it's just going to be 10 minutes or so. That came to learn. We'll be getting this playback for you. So that way, if you need to watch again of those tools, we can walk you through it. Okay. So for those of you who are staying with the after party, and if you're not, you can just pop off. We so appreciate you for coming. This is where you're going to get to just learn a bit about the Mary Kay opportunity. Because remember, just making a decision is half the battle. And it is actually builds trust with yourself when you're not indecision, when you're just like, I think I'm going to give this a shot, or I think I knew enough now that it's just not for me. So I want you to light up the chat. And Melissa, I need your help because when I'm sharing my screen, I cannot see what is in the chat. But you are going to get entries for this cute little bag and this fun little contour kit and complexion sponge. Now, this is going to be guests only, not consultants. When you put in the chat, what impressed you the most about learning about the Mary Kay opportunity tonight? So go ahead and put that in there. What impressed you the most? What's something new that you learned that you didn't know, kind of piqued your interest? And then as you answer those questions, we'll have Melissa try to read them out loud while she also copies and pastes your name into the chat. So go ahead and put that in there. The next question is going to be, what would impact you the most? So you get to choose. You get to choose out of these. Is it the extra income, the flexibility, the confidence, the community, the personal growth, or the recognition and prizes? Now I'm going to go back to this one because I saw the chat starting to light up. So Melissa, what are they putting in the chat about what would impress them the most about the Mary Kay opportunity?
Love it. So Taylor says it's always such a great reminder of what she can be a part of when she can finally join. Marcy loved learning about highlighting.
Love it.
Carolee was how much she can make in just 1 month. That's very flexible with everything.
Yes.
Camry thought it might be more possible for her working, maybe just possible a couple hours or 2 a week. Marcy liked the face shape. Carolee liked the flexibility, extra income would be amazing. Oh, we're on to the next one. Just realized. Okay. And Melinda said the flexible schedule.
I love it. Okay. So yeah, if you didn't get this one already, what would impact you the most? The extra income, the flexibility, the confidence, the community, the personal growth. I wrote down some of those first answers too, just to kind of go a little bit deeper into to help give a better picture. So love that. And then our last question is, what would you need to know? What would you need to know? I know that there's already some questions asked there, but this is a safe place. This is the after party where everybody stayed because they're curious or they really want a cheek stick, and that's okay too. But is what would help you feel confident to be like, you know what? I know everything I need to know. Drop your questions in the chat. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing because that's going to lead us to that. So we can give Melissa a second to copy your things over. Let me get down here. Let's see here. How much do you need to start? That's a good question, Kaylina. I like that question. Okay, let me show you the starter kit options as I squint my eyes. And I realized in the last one, I did not talk about the signing bonus. Okay, cool me. All right, so so the options to start, guys, this is the first decision right here. It is a $35 decision to become a consultant. That includes a beautiful website, some fun samples, and to get going right away. Okay, now you do have the option to do the full starter kit, which gets you $400 worth of full-size product, and that one's $125. So this gives you all the things that we would hold on appointments and show and romance with, and you get to use yourself. So at the very little, $35, it's like a Costco membership. Tonight, which I'll show you before I answer any other questions, because apparently I forgot to tell you in the last one, because I don't know. Do you have it handy?
Yes.
Okay. We have a sign-on bonus. So if you're like, you know what, I think I want to give this a shot. I think I want to try. We have a special gift with also signing up in the next 24 hours. It's a $38 value. You would get a mascara and a lip gloss. How fun is that? So our Fanorama brand new mascara and a yummy lip gloss. So both things I have on right now, they're just necessities. So that would also be a gift. It basically makes you signing up free. All right. So let's see here. Let's go back to these questions. I'm actually worried about doing it with people I know and that I would feel awkward, as odd as that sounds. So Taylor, it's not awkward. That is actually one of the most common things that people feel nervous around the people that they know. So that's totally normal. I guess what I would say with that is number one, typically with the people you know, are your first appointments, anyways. So your mentor, your director is the one who's talking, anyways. It's me, it's Melissa, it's Jessica on here. We're the ones who are talking. And so you get to watch and learn with your safe people, but we're the ones who are like collecting the money and finishing it. And they just want to support you anyways. So some of that awkwardness gets taken out because we get the referrals to lead you to the people you don't know. Now, typically the reason though that people feel awkward with the people that they know, oh, this light just died, is because you feel like you don't want to sell to your friends or be pushy to your friends. You don't want to bother them. There might be other reasons, but that's typically why. So what I try to do, or not try, what my purpose is to teach you, how do we just come from a place of being a servant to them? What do I mean by that? I don't care if they get on and buy anything. That is awesome if they do. My purpose is to give them value. And when you give people value and connection and you focus on pampering them and teaching them, the products sell themselves. If you've tried them, you knew your skin felt awesome right away. You see this, I used to do makeup. We know that they're going to look fabulous. Okay, that's not the issue. So when we come to a place where you're like, oh my God, that was so much fun, it just naturally happens. And they had to buy it from somewhere, so they might as well buy it from you. Can you sell Mary Kay products at community events? We can't sell at public events like a craft show or a swap meet. We can use them as a place to get leads though. So we can have a beautiful table set up so that way you can get more people interested and get their information to set up future appointments. The reason we can't in those public places is because we might be stealing from somebody who already has a consultant. So we just want to be mindful of that. Would it matter which starter kit you choose to start and which one would be the best for being new to starting this? It doesn't matter. You are going to have the same amount of support either way. However, if it's a means of money that you're like, oh, I can only do the 35, then do that and get started. Okay. But if you have the means, I 100% would do the full starter kit because it's not about where you want to start this. It's about, girl, you should be using your own product. So you are leading with belief that you are using it. You want to feel confident because at every appointment, I'm holding all those things I'm showing you. So showing a picture versus being like, hey, this is our daytime defender. Look, it doesn't leave a white cast on your hands and I can show you is a lot more emotional than just talking about something. So that helps to sell those things and for you to feel confident using it. And you got sales tool aids and catalogs and samples and all those things in there. So either way, don't be all or nothing. You're like, I need the full kit. I'll wait till I get that. You can do the 35 and you have 2 weeks to add on the other one and you can get the other things later. Okay. Great questions, you guys. Awesome, awesome questions. Any other questions that you guys have before we close the after party and we give away our fun little bag here? No question is too big or too small. Something I wanted to touch on just to give you a second to, if anything else. One of those common concerns, and I saw that when somebody said what impressed them is that they could do this alongside a full-time job. A lot of the time, I think that people look at something like this and think that they need to stop what they're doing to do this. See, this is a and, not a or. So this is going, hey, if one Zoom takes me 45 minutes or an hour, I can pop on my phone real quick, go wash my face with some ladies in the bathroom, in my yoga pants on the bottom, help them out, and run right back in with my kids, not have to drive anywhere, not have to go anywhere. I was talking to a woman before I got on here today, and she works at a grocery store, and she has a 9-month-old baby. She was upset about her schedule, and she doesn't get paid enough. $1,500 would make a huge difference in her life right now. And I asked her, how long would that take you at your job extra to make that up? And she said 30 hours. And the predicament she found herself in was, I need the extra income, but I'm not willing to leave this baby any more time than I already am. There's so many women in that situation, right? I need this, but I don't have the time. So this, even if it's just an hour to start with, we're not thinking of the future of how it compounds. Because if she bought here in 2 or 3 months, she's going to reorder. The person who asked that question, by the way, has reordered from me like 3 or 4 times herself. So you're going to reorder, right? And so you have reorders now and the appointments you're doing. So every month your income is going up, even if your time is not. So that's something you need to think about, because we sometimes think, well, if I only have this, is it worth it? An extra $100 or $500 a month with just an hour or two a week give you relief in your life? I think it would be fun. Okay. So we're going to give away that extra little kit. We'll pop it in the mail. And remember, connect with us. We'll just send you a quick link to sign up so you can get that sign-on bonus. We'll show it one more time in a second here. Let's just show it one more time really fast, since I forgot to show it the last time. It is a mascara and a lip gloss. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, so that is your signing bonus if you get it within the next 24 hours. And then let's go ahead and spin that wheel to give away our after party gift. Look at us in less than 10 minutes. Okay, go ahead. I'm so excited for you. Okay. She's that customer, I'm telling you, who just keeps loving her products. Okay, so we are going to get that over to you. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining that after party. I hope you learned a lot about the business, but also about how to contour your face. We are so happy that you joined us this evening, and we hope to talk soon. Oh, and if you book a share call, if you need to know more one-on-one, your consultant is earning these bags from us this month. Okay, if she does 5, she earns one of those bags. I forgot to tell you about them, so help her out. Book a dream call with her. Okay, bye, everyone.